This is a lecture by L. Ron Hubbard. Its title is Ron's Journal 68. It is 52 minutes long. Copyright 1969 by L. Ron Hubbard, all world performance rights reserved. This recording has been re-recorded by the Scientology Publications Organization. Now, here is Ron with some of the members of the C Organization.
The world needs Scientology. The year of 1968 was full of storms. It was a fitting example of man's lack of skill in politics, international relations, personal understanding, and tolerance. The physical sciences are advancing into a world where the humanities have lagged behind, and 1968 was a great example of it. However, in the world of Scientology in 1968, we had many wins. This was the year when the Scientologists pitched in. This was the year when you began to help me carry the load, for which I thank you from the bottom of my heart. So hello, you beautiful people. I have not been amongst you physically for a while, but I've been with you in spirit, and you've done well. Our orgs, our staffs, our Scientologists are doing very well indeed. More self-determined, more competent, and more free. And thank you for all you've done in 1968, and all you are doing now. You are making the world a better place to live. In 1968, there were many advances. Technical, organizational. Possibly the biggest advance was, of course, the development of Class 8 auditing. I don't think this advance was well understood by many. Unfortunately, it was given out as the answer to OutTech. Actually, only a few cases of OutTech were ever discovered. Forgive me for invalidating good auditors. They did not deserve to have it stated that their tech was out. After a very few OutTech instances were found, it was discovered that InTech was the real order of the day. Nearly every auditor was really doing his tech as well as he had been taught. So thank you, and as I say, forgive the way it was announced. It was not a polite thing to do. Class 8, as many have since discovered, was a brand new breakthrough, not a cure. 100% gains became attainable in minimal time. 100% with Class 8 meant 100%. By simplifying the application of Scientology processing, I was able to teach auditors at a high level how to do what only I had been able to do with case supervision before that. This new system of simplified communication and procedure brought more gains faster. It reduced review necessities. It sent cases soaring, and it placed in every org a safeguard against technical difficulties. Class 8 was a very great advance. It was a new look in auditing. This was the primary tech development of 1968. It was quite marvelous, really, the way we got the Class 8s in, got them trained, and got them back to their orgs. There was a lot of humor and goodwill in all this. Sea Org members posed the pictures you saw in the Auditor. There wasn't a Class 8 in the lot. The Class 8s from orgs were all down below studying like mad, and we couldn't disturb them to get the Auditor pictures. Very amusing, really. Afterwards I said to myself, when I make Ron's Journal 68, I'll have to tell people these weren't Class 8 students but members of the Sea Org. We don't deal in deception. You may have missed the line that said it was posed. The Sea Org, too, changed in 1968. It was formed originally to be rough and tough, but Scientologists don't naturally hold such an image. In 1968, the Sea Org became a goodwill activity and an efficient administrative arm of Scientology. The Sea Org, as you know, runs the advanced organizations and is the custodian of the clear and OT processing materials. The Sea Org's going along fine. It now has 5 ships. These are great guys, the tops. The heroes of 1968 were the Scientology Guardians offices, the Guardian Mary Sue, the Deputy Guardian Jane Kember, who has now been appointed Guardian, and all the assistant guardians around the world, one in each org, began to handle attacks on Scientology and safeguard orgs across the world. They made terrific progress. You are all indebted to them, and so is mankind, more than they'll ever know. And speaking of Mary Sue, I'd like to give you, as any fond father would, a bit of family news. Mary Sue is still beautiful. She's a very able being, and she works very hard for you, as I'm sure you all know. Diana is her lovely golden-haired self. She still plays the piano. She serves now as Commodore Staff Number 1 and keeps the communications flying. Quentin has just gotten his Class 6, the first one to come all the way up in the Sea Org. Suzette is a happy messenger, and Arthur is the youngest and very proud to be the Commodore's bowman. Katie, my oldest daughter, is OT 6, Class 6, and works in the LA Org, as does my grandson Lance. The main trouble in making this talk to you here today is the fact that there's actually just too much news. Too much has been happening. 1968 and into 69, it's been a fantastic period of time, constant and continuous advance. Early in 1968,